Hi dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening show today. Sorry, I was having some problems with YouTube, unfortunately, but well, I'm out here and I'm very glad to be with you on this Cricket Happening show. Your host Ram. As far as this Cricket Happening show is concerned, we are going to have a look at two matches. One is the third day's play in the match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, where Sri Lanka went on to a massive score of 730 runs for 6 wickets declared, and the feature being Jayawardene going on to make an unbeaten 203 and in the process becoming the 6th highest run getter in cricket test history as he overtook the former Australian great player Allan Borders, 11,170. I don't remember the real statistic, but he went past Allan Borders of Australia. Not only that, to compound matters, Vithanages got his maiden test century. The other day we saw Kaushal Silva making a maiden test century. Now it was the turn of Kitirawan Vithanages to go on and make his maiden test done. And Angelo Matthews contributing 86. So that was what was the story of the day, but I would be talking about it in detail. But what Sri Lanka did is they just rubbed it in. They grinded the Bangladeshi attack to pulp, and they were 730 for 6 wickets declared. So that really meant it was a massive lead for Sri Lanka. In fact, they had a lead of I think it was 398, not 300, it's more than 300, almost. If you look at it, it is almost coming to 498 run lead they took in the first innings. That's a massive lead, and Bangladesh have already lost their first wicket at stumps on day 3, and they were struggling at 35 for 1. So I will come and talk about that particular match. That is, I'll be talking about the third day's play, and then we will look at the first T20 of the series, which was an absolute run feast here at the Bellary Oval in Hobart, where runs were clattered like anything. But what a match we had! We had a very wonderful match where Australia went on to score 213 for 4. England, led by Ravi Bopara towards the end, when he started smashing the bowlers all across the park, in an unbeaten 65 of 27 balls with 2 fours and 7 sixes. But unfortunately, all that he could do is get England to a score of 200 for 9 in reply, and in the end, Australia winning the match by 13 runs and taking a lead in this 3-match T20 series. So I'll come back to that. So first, let's talk about the match between and also one more thing, I'll be also talking about cricket news. The South African Test squad has been announced to take on Australia, and I'll be talking about that particular selection which was made. But first, let me start off with the match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Yesterday I told you that Angelo Matthews and Mahela Jayawardene were in the middle, and they were an absolutely powerful pair, and for Bangladesh it was very essential that they nipped up the wickets pretty quickly, otherwise it would be too late. And yes, it proved absolutely late for them, because Bangladesh bowlers really struggled with their line today. And what happened was that Mahela Jayawardene and Angelo Matthews chiseled together a partnership, a very big partnership at that. In fact, after Lakmal was out, the night watchman yesterday, today it was a massive partnership. You look at the partnership that they put almost 178 runs for the 6th wicket, with both of them really grinding the Zimbabwean bowlers. And well, Jayawardene, as you know, is one of those great players, no doubt about it. As I said, he went on to make the only reward that Bangladesh got through the entire day was Angelo Matthews' wicket, after he made a very good 86 of 7 fours and 1 6. That's a solitary wicket that Bangladesh could take throughout the third day, and even after the new ball was taken, it didn't have any effect. The third new ball was taken by Bangladesh, but basically the second new ball was taken by Bangladesh, but it really didn't have much effect on the Sri Lankan batsmen. And there was not much of a struggle today. It was pretty easy going for both Jayawardene and Matthews. who blossomed together in a partnership which took the score to 554. And after that, probably Sri Lanka might have, Bangladesh might have thought that they could quickly wrap up the tail and they could actually get the person, that is Vithanages, who was actually playing this match pretty quickly. But let me tell you, Vithanages played some beautiful strokes. He was using his feet well to the spinners. He really hit some good sixes down the ground of the spinners, and he also played some very good strokes and was looking like a fine prospect. And even after the bleeding didn't stop, after 554 for 6, when Matthews departed, the bleeding never stopped, and then there was another massive partnership which started building up, and that built up till 730. So we are looking at another 176 run unbeaten partnership between Mahela Jayawardene, who went on to make an unbeaten 203 with 16 fours and 4 sixes, and that was his 7th double century. And in doing so, as I said, he passed the former great batsman Allan Borders, who actually had scored 11,174 runs, if my statistics are right. You can check that. And he actually surpassed him and became the 4th highest run getter in Test cricket, 6th highest run getter in Test cricket history. And he definitely deserved to get that, Mahela Jayawardene, and Mahela Jayawardene will be very happy with this effort. Vithanages, as I said, went on to score his maiden Test century, making 103 unbeaten runs of 104 balls with 12 fours and 2 sixes, and Sri Lanka were taken to a massive score of 730 runs for 6 wickets declared. Angelo Matthews waited till 9 overs before close of play to apply the declaration, and when the declaration came, it was a lead of 498 runs for Sri Lanka. It was a massive lead for them, and for as far as the bowling is concerned, the bowling does not make any happy reading. Rabiul Islam 29 overs 2 minutes, none for 109. Al-Hameen Hussain 32 overs 3 minutes, 1 for 118. Rubeil Hussain 20 overs for 84 was not getting his line right at all. He was struggling with his line today. Sohail Ghazi 39 overs 5 minutes, 130 runs and 2 wickets. So Shakib Hassan 43 overs 6 minutes, 159 runs and 3 wickets. And it was a toil. In fact, it also prompted the skipper Mushfiqur Rahim to try a few other part-timers like Mominul Haq, Nasir Hussain, Marshall Ayub, but nothing really came to fruition. And Sri Lanka, as I said, started absolutely grinded this Bangladeshi bowling attack, and the Bangladeshi bowling attack were looking like a bedraggled unit. And what they did is they really made sure that I'm sure that Sri Lanka wouldn't want to bat again in this particular test match, and they would like to go one up in the series, and I'm sure they are absolutely looking towards that. Not only that, and looking at the way they have been playing and looking at what happened in the second innings, where Tamim Iqbal played an irresponsible shot. I mean, you're 498 runs in arrears, and only 9 overs left for the day, and Tamim Iqbal plays an irresponsible shot of the bowling of Rangana. Here could be caught by Pereira for 11 of 18 balls with 2 fours, and after that it took Shamsur Rahman with an unbeaten 9 with 1 4, and Marshall Ayub with an unbeaten 11 with 2 fours at the crease to see Bangladesh towards safety at stumps on 35 for 1. So 35 for 1 was what Bangladesh replied in the second innings. So Bangladesh are still 463 runs behind. I think it is going to be very difficult for Bangladesh to get out of this jail for sure, because it's very difficult. 453 runs is a massive score, and that too keeping in view that we are going into the 4th day, where there is definitely going to be some wear and tear in the wicket. Some footmarks are going to be created, and it's going to be one hell of a job for Bangladesh. If Bangladesh could really do that, then they would have made a real I would say that if they could actually wipe out that lead and take a lead, I think Bangladesh would have done something absolutely great for themselves in Test cricket history. But well, it doesn't look so. As I said, Lakmal 3 overs none for 8. Ranga 1 over for 5 runs. Rangana had a 3 overs 2 minutes 1 for 8. The wicket taker who took actually Tamim Iqbal's wicket. and Pereira bowled 2 overs for 10 runs. So that is the story as far as the third day's play is concerned, where Sri Lanka are absolutely dictating terms to Bangladesh at this point of time, in a manner that the only thing that Bangladesh can do is try to salvage something and see how best they can actually play out time and what they do. So, well, as far as the fourth day is concerned, the pressure is absolutely on the hosts Bangladesh to really get out of this jail. Well, so let's get on from here and look at the T20 series which started between Australia and England. And as you know, it was actually Australia who actually won the toss, and they elected to bat at the Bellary Oval in Hobart in Tasmania. And for Australia, well, it was Cameron White and Aaron Finch who opened the innings for them. And well, Aaron Finch and Cameron White was making his comeback into this Australian team, really smashed the English bowling to absolutely, they actually really, I would say, they smashed the bowling to absolute pulp by putting on a partnership of 106 runs in 10.4 overs, almost going at a clip of more than 10 runs per over. And it was a sad sight for England. All the bowlers were getting absolute caning, and it was going on. Aaron Finch and Cameron White really pasting the English bowlers. In fact, Cameron White, what was good to see about him was that Cameron White was not a person who was actually, he likes to hit the ball cleanly. He's a very good clean hitter of the ball. But what was good about Cameron White's knock was that he was lofting the ball very well, very cleanly, and basically his area was over extra cover. So that was something. Hitting a ball over extra cover is not an easy task, but Cameron White was doing it with absolute precision. Not only that, he was also playing some very good, nice deflections. He was placing the ball very well, and he was rotating the strike very well with Aaron Finch at the other end. As you know, Aaron Finch is a good smasher, so he went on in his merry way because he got the license, because Cameron White was really firing on all cylinders. It also gave Aaron Finch to really throw caution to the winds and really slam this English bowling, and that's what he precisely did. And both of them carted these English bowlers to put on 106 runs for the first wicket. The first victim being Aaron Finch, who was caught by Hales with the bowling of Broad for 52 punishing runs of 31 deliveries, 5 fours and 3 sixes. After that, Glenn Maxwell came in, and after that, Glenn Maxwell came in and Cameron White. Cameron White kept on pinching the boundaries and also hitting some very good shots over the boundaries. And Cameron White, after making 75 runs of just 43 deliveries with 6 fours and 4 sixes, was a victim of the bowling of Luke Wright. He was gone for 75. That made the score 134 for 2 in the 13th over. Glenn Maxwell came in and started playing some very good reverse sweeps. In fact, he also reverse swept a particular delivery from the spinner, I thought, Danny Briggs, for a 6, and he was pretty severe on the spinner. And Maxwell collected 20 runs of 13 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. Bailey contributing 14 of 14 balls. But Chris Lynn, as he actually said, there were 2 people who were making their debut for Australia. And keeping in view that the T20 World Cup is coming, it was a good ploy by the Australian selectors to try out a few combinations. And I think the way these Aaron Finch and Cameron White played, it is something, a signal of things to come. But Chris Lynn, as you know, he's been doing very well in the Big Bash League, and he's a very fine prospect for Australia. He's a good hitter of the ball who likes to have seen Chris Lynn's batting. He actually stays at the crease and slams the ball, and that's what he precisely did. And Chris Lynn, actually, with the 4th ball that he faced, Chris Lynn, the hitter, and J.M. Muirhead, the leg spinner, were actually making their T20 debuts today for Australia. Chris Lynn went on smashing in the sense, once the platform was set, when Australia were looking pretty at 200 for 4, not 200, it was 157 for 3 when Maxwell departed. But Chris Lynn was the one who applied the finishing touches to this Australian innings to take it to 213 for 4 on his debut, making an unbeaten 33 of just 19 deliveries with 1 4 and 3 sixes. And the 4th delivery that he faced, in T20 cricket, which was bowled by Bresnan, disappeared for a six. So actually he hit a six of the fourth ball of the bowling of Bresnan, and Chris Lynn was looking dangerous for sure, and Daniel Christian not out six, and Australia finishing on a very commanding score of 213 for 4 of their 20 overs. Now, as far as the bowling figures were concerned, Broad was a person who we could say that he bowled without luck. In fact, I think it was Cameron White who was dropped, and that proved pretty costly. Stuart Broad 4 overs, 1 for 25. Dernbash was taken to the cleaners, 4 overs no maiden, 1 for 50. Bresnan 4 overs went for 40 runs. Bopara bowled 3 overs no maiden, 1 for 26. Danny Briggs, the spinner, also came for some heavy tap, 4 overs caned for 53 runs, and Luke Wright bowled 1 over in which he gave away 18 runs and also picked up a very important wicket of Cameron White. Now for England, the chase of 214 to win from their 20 overs started in right earnest with Alex Hales and Michael Lumb starting, but Alex Hales was stroking the ball with precision and also with lots of good timing. Michael Lumb was the early victim as Nathan Coulter-Nile provided Australia the breakthrough by first getting the wicket of Michael Lumb for 9 of 6 balls with 2 fours. Luke Wright followed him to the pavilion as Moises Henriques got Luke Wright clean bowled for 9 with 2 fours of 10 balls with 2 fours, so that made it 44 for 2. Alex Hales, as I said, was dealing only in boundaries. He had carved 22 of 12 deliveries with 5 fours because Moises Henriques once again took the wicket of Alex Hales. In fact, it took 2 wickets of Luke Wright and Alex Hales, and England were struggling at 45 for 3. And when they lost Owen Morgan, who was clean bowled by Maxwell for 4 with just 1 of 4 balls with 1 boundary, 51 for 4 was a very sorry situation for England, and they definitely required somebody to stay at the crease and slowly guide the innings, and that was done by Joe Root, and he was joined in by Josh Butler. Both of them slowly started pushing the score towards 98, because it was very essential, because they had a big target in front of them, and it was very essential that it was not the question of staying at the crease, but also hitting getting some runs, and that's what precisely Josh Butler did. In fact, Joe Root also was equal to the task, and they pushed on the score to 98 before Josh Butler was a victim. When Coulter-Nile took his wicket, he was gone for 20 of 14 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, which made it 98 for 5, and Joe Root immediately departed after the dismissal of Josh Butler, as he was gone by again Coulter-Nile coming into the picture and capturing the wicket of Joe Root, caught by Finch for 32 of 24 balls with 3 fours and 1 6, which made it 100 for 6. And from 100 for 6, it was Bresnan at the crease along with Ravi Bopara. Now Ravi Bopara is a person who likes to block the ball, and he was the one who was doing that, but Ravi Bopara definitely realized that it would be too late. It's time to really unwield some big blows, and Ravi Bopara, surprising everybody, started slamming the ball high, wide and handsome for lots of sixes, but in the process, when this partnership was going on between Bresnan, because the partnership added 47 runs when Ravi Bopara was its absolute fiercest, and that was the time he really gave a scare to the Australian bowlers by hitting some beautiful sixes. And Ravi Bopara, we have seen in the past that he is definitely capable of hitting the ball over the top, and that's what he precisely did. As I said, the 12th over, the England score read 100 for 6, and definitely required a big injection of runs to get onto this target. So that was done by Bopara in a partnership which added 47 runs. We are looking at probably 5 to 6 overs in which 47 runs were taken, where Ravi Bopara really started going aerial, but he lost to Bresnan, who was bowled by Muirhead, the right arm leg spinner from Australia, James Muirhead, who actually was making his T20 international debut. So he got his maiden wicket in the form of Tim Bresnan, who was bowled for 11 of 14 balls, and after that Nathan Coulter-Nile came in and clean bowled Chris Broad. Dane Bash ran out 5, but Ravi Bopara kept on swinging. He kept on hitting some marvelous sixes, and as I said, he really put some fright into the Australian camp, but he went on swinging, and well, what all that he could do was he kept on swinging. He tried his best to see to it that England could get a victory, but in the end it was a task which was proving absolutely beyond Bopara himself. But I thought Bopara did a great job to get England close to that target of 213 by by getting 200 runs on the board for 9 wickets of that 20 overs, with Ravi Bopara finishing on an unbeaten 65 of just 27 deliveries with 2 fours and 7 sixes, which was hit with a great timing. So 200 for 9 was the final score. England losing the first T20 match by 13 runs. And looking at the bowling for Australia, Glenn Maxwell 3 overs went for 30 runs with 1 wicket. Nathan Coulter-Nile continued, as you know, he did well in the one-day internationals. He's showing signs of continuous improvement, which is good for Australian cricket. 4 overs, no maiden, 30 runs, and he took 4 wickets. Josh Hazlewood bowled 4 overs for 46 runs. Moises Henriques 3 overs, 36 runs and 2 wickets. Muirhead on his T20 international debut, 4 overs, 34 runs and 1 wicket. And Daniel Christian bowled 2 overs, which cost him 21 runs. The man of the match was Cameron White for his 75 runs. So the first T20 match is all over. It has gone in favor of Australia. So Australia have started off by winning the first T20 match here at Belrive Oval. They have gone 1-0 up in this 3-match T20 series. The second match between Australia and England in the T20 series is coming up at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on 31st of January. Now, the other cricket news that I would like to talk about is the South African team has been selected to play Australia. As you know, Australia are touring South Africa. Tomorrow they are flying to South Africa. And as far as the team is concerned, what South Africa have done is they have decided that they are not going to have Imran Tahir, the right-arm leg spinner, in their ranks. And they have decided to leave out Imran Tahir. So Imran Tahir is out of the team. And there is no, for the first time in 18 years, Jack Scalise is not there in the team. But Jack Scalise has retired, well, in the test matches too, because so Jack Scalise has been left out. As far as the other things are concerned, Ryan McLaren, the all-rounder, has got the nod. Wayne Parnell, who has been improving as a very good bowler for South Africa, has really shown signs of great improvement, is back into the South African squad. So the South African squad for the Australian for Australia touring South Africa: Graham Smith is the captain, Hashim Amla, A.B. de Villiers, J.P. Duminy, Du Plessis, Dean Elgar, Rory Kleinwilt, Ryan McLaren, Moni Markel, Wayne Powell, Elviro Peterson, the opener, Robin Peterson. So they have gone with just one specialist spinner in the form of Robin Peterson, the left-arm spinner, because what he does is he also brings his batting abilities to the fore, and that's the precise reason they have plumped for Robin Peterson instead of Imran Tahir, the right-arm leggy. Vernon Philander, Dale Steyn and Tommy Solakile will be the wicketkeeper, the reserve wicketkeeper. Now that is the team composition. I don't have much time to actually dwell on that, but that brings an end to this Cricket Happening show for today. But again, tomorrow the Cricket Happening show will be up with the we will know whether Sri Lanka are going to win on the 4th day itself, or the match would be carried on into the 5th day when they take on Bangladesh on the 4th day of the first test match here at the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show of today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye from your host Ram. Thank you.